What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 22 of my Total Warhammer 3 Zhatan the Black Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Scav Stonebeard took on Grease's Goldtooth in the Warpstone Desert outside of Shangyang, and did destroy his army and gun down Greasus with those ridiculous blunderbusses. They're definitely a tier lower than I think they should be. Probably should be a tier 3 unit, considering the effectiveness. I'd actually be curious to see their performance as compared to the Fireglaves, which we will be seeing shortly, as we do now have the tier 4 building either while available or being built. I don't remember where, but I'm sure somewhere. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, Zhao Ming is finally within sight, and we are going to be attacking him. Also, as somebody pointed out, we can put the here we go, where is it? Khanate Raider, there we go. We can put the anti-desert attrition ancillary on Yobaz here, at least for now, to bypass the attrition of the Warpstone Desert. For some reason, while I know that it's a desert, I never actually thought of it as causing attrition via desert attrition, mostly because the Warpstone Desert attrition isn't, it's not like normal desert attrition, right? It's, well, at least in lore, it's more of a you're going through a radioactive wasteland sort of thing, and yeah, the radiation probably much worse than the actual desert problems, but obviously the game doesn't have that as a mechanic. So anyway, appreciate the suggestion. Now Yobaz won't suffer attrition here. Speaking of Yobaz, he's going to attack Zhao Ming in a second, but before I forget, there's a couple things we want to do. First of all, internal recruiter Zork here. You gotta recruit a few more things, namely we want at least one more Skullcracker and let's say 3 more Kadai Fireborn. And I feel like we should just recruit them right away. And yeah, I know it's gonna cost money, but you know, I want to get their army up and running. So we'll go to the Hellforge, and we'll go for 1 War Machines, because that is you. Skullcracker. Yes, 1 War Machine, and then, oh, what does this do? Strapped on ammo, crates, extra reload, and passive ability, hellbound, magical attacks, imbuement, physical resistance, plus 20. Should be actually quite nice for the Skullcrackers in particular. Next up, we'll get 1, 2, 3 Fireborn, which also activate a bunch of other stuff, which we aren't going to use yet, because I feel like we have better uses for our armaments at the current time, but obviously that's going to change later. Anyway, Skullcracker, yes. Oh wow, Skullcrackers are actually considerably cheaper than the Fireborn, alright? Maybe we'll get a 3rd one. I'll think about it. Either way, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. That's gonna take a while, and it's gonna cost quite a bit, but on the bright side, this does mean we can remove the military doctrine and pop you back into, I guess, Masterful Architects. We're probably not going to be able to do too much in the way of stuff here in the next few turns, so I guess we could also go for Public Order. The only problem with that is I will absolutely forget. Yeah, just go for Public Order. Hopefully I'll remember, because this guy is recruiting here, so maybe I'll remember that. Anyway, before we attack, between the episodes, I added a few of the names to the list, as it's been, well, a fair few episodes since the last time I named things. We have now the British Hobbits for the for one of the sneaky gets. Then I asked you guys to give us some names for the various Wolf Raiders, and we got plenty of these. Now, more than I have Wolf Raiders currently on the map, actually. So we got Gordus's Good Boys, and the Hounds of Hashut, Mange Rovers, fantastic name, Ratcatches, and a Terra Lupi, or Lupi. Then we have Sharp Teeth and Hashut's Hobdogs over here. Lastly, I believe there was probably a few more names that I added, but I'm not entirely sure I remember where exactly I added them. Rat Cooker for one of the Magma Cannons, and I think we already discussed the Iron Demons. Well, there's probably others, but yeah, they're in there. We'll go over them over time as we continue to add names. Anyway, that's about all I wanted to say and or do, so I think it's now time to attack Zhao Ming yet again. Declare war? Sorry, buddy. We're not going to call our allies to help, as I don't see the purpose of doing so. why screw with the Conclave? And I really wouldn't want them to lose their territories. Oh, actually, that's going to be an interesting question. So what do you guys think about who we confederate first? I'm personally inclined to say that it has to be, or it should be the Servants of the Conclave first, I think. Mostly because by getting the Servants of the Conclave, A, we get a tier 5 territory, but B, this has the landmark that gives us an additional 25 Conclave influence per turn, which is quite significant on its own. Plus, Astrogoth is doing quite well, so he has a bunch of other territory, though confederating him will also obviously give us all the extra Conclave... Oh, well, he doesn't like us. All the extra Conclave influence from all this territory. Ooh, he has another iron, eh? So there is that. The weakest, obviously, is the Legion of Asgore right now. So I think they're probably not going to be the main option. And I'm assuming, of course, that we can get the Master of the Conclave, the Servants of the Conclave, before we get the other two Legendary Lords. On the other hand, taking either one of the Legendary Lords probably means also gaining the seats that they're currently using, so there would be buffs from all of that if we were to confed them instead of the main faction. But the 25 Conclave influence, I'm not sure. Anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on the matter, because we'll be there far sooner than we might otherwise expect. I'd say probably within 15 turns, something along those lines, as our Conclave influence will probably rise to about plus 100 by then, and then it'll be like 5 turns to get a seat for Confederation. We just gotta get 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully one of them will help us and get one of these, but these 3 would be swell, especially for the control one. But anyway, I digress. Yobaz, it's time for you to attack Zhao Ming yet again. Zhao Ming's gonna run because we have a garrison here, and... Okay, I am an idiot. Zhao Ming is not going to run. You know what, let's take the Scarecrow banner and let's put it on you, because you can fly. And I probably should have swapped some of your items around. Wow, you have a lot of fire resistance, don't you? You guys like immune to fire. Too bad Zhao Ming doesn't do fire damage. You call yourself a dragon? Oh well. Anyway, I'm actually shocked that this Pyrrhic victory, really? With the garrison, with all of these extra Chaos Dwarf warriors. Yeah, I don't think so, game. I really don't think so, but let's see. Ooh, I like the contrast in this map. Oh, that is a nice shot. Damn, with the sun behind the Cathayan fortress there, that is absolutely fantastic. Damn, definitely one of the best structure shots I think we've had so far, and I'm getting distracted from the battle as usual. Anyway, here we go. Zhao Ming about to be taught yet another lesson. We are going to start by annoying the enemy with our various Wolf Riders, all of which are now named, of course, while we bombard them with our artillery. I also want to point out that the Wolf Riders are currently the only thing other than the artillery that the enemy can see. The rest of our army is completely hidden from the enemy. And, well, I guess except the Overseer, but he's an air unit, so, yeah, we're not super concerned about that. Also, as we can see, the artillery has already done a lot of damage to at least the enemy Iron Hail Gunners, which are obviously a threat, similar to our own blunderbusses, and we're just going to force the enemy army to chase our Wolf Riders while we continue bombarding and annoying them. Ooh, an actual nice shot from the... Damn, that's a lot of corpses. An actual nice shot from the rocket artillery there. And very, very good. And the entire enemy army completely lacks cavalry, so all they can do is very slowly march toward our fairly massive force of Wolf Riders here. Funnily enough, if we wanted to really annoy them, we could just not engage them in combat at all and just kill them all like this, kiting them around the map since they can't catch us, or at the very least until we run out of ammunition. But yeah, while it would be fun, it's also probably not super necessary. Anyway, I'm going to target as many of the enemy enemy as we can. The magma cannons are still clearly doing work, though it looks like Zhao Ming is now headed towards us. It looks like the enemy has finally gotten close enough to sight our various hobgoblins, and thus they will turn towards the main force. That said, we can also do the same and start moving our forces forward. Gordas is going to run around here and try to move through the back of the enemy line to summon hobgoblin cutthroats on top of the enemy Jade Warrior crossbows here, while our other units, both of the hobgoblin cutthroats and sneaky git variety, are going to rush forward towards any other enemies they can reach. In this particular case, it'll most definitely be the crossbows, which are obviously going to be the biggest threat on the map. There we go, the Infinidaggers go flying. And here come the sneaky gits, which shouldn't have a lot of trouble at killing the Jade Warrior crossbows of various... just the Jade Warrior crossbows. I don't know what I was going to say there. Anyway, reinforcements have arrived on the field, and we've got a lot of them, and this is why I was shocked that the enemy army was willing to fight us. So many dwarf warriors, and quite a few archers, and even a unit of blunderbusses as well. All quite nice. Now, our overseer is flying up above, and he is actually getting targeted by 3 of the enemy units of range, so he does have to be careful. Those iron hail gunners can certainly hurt him, and now it looks like Zhao Ming is also going to chase him around as well. Gonna have to try to back off, and I think just in case we're gonna have to land in order to prevent Zhao Ming from killing him. Yeah, I'm gonna land here, and then Gordas, at least this way, can help fight Zhao Ming. There we go. In the air, obviously, he was not going to be all that helpful, but now Zhao Ming is fighting here, and Gordas is going to start stabbing him in the back, all the while our archers start firing on him with all their arrows. He's already down to near half HP, and Gordas has activated all of his abilities. Look at those stats. That's a goblin. 100 melee attack, 92 melee defense, 874 weapon strength, and 105 armor. And that, mind you, all without any magical imbuements either that we could probably do later on as we get a mage in this army. So very, very nice is what I'm getting at. Anyway, the artillery continues, and it looks like they've nearly killed most of the enemy range. We're also moving around our cavalry in the background. We'll start moving them forward to actually rush the enemy and hunt them down. Otherwise, Zhao Ming is starting to waver and is down to about a third of his HP, though we are keeping our overseer away from him. And it looks like Zhao Ming wants to go after one of our magma cannons. Obviously, we can't be having that. Hey, you leave that cannon alone. Fortunately, Gordas is behind him and is getting ready to snip that tail away, at the very least. And by the looks of it, Zhao Ming is pretty much done. And not only Zhao Ming, the rest of his army is in very bad shape. The balance of power is at about 90, maybe even 95% in our favor. Zhao Ming booking it on out of there while Gordas gives chase. And now the rest of our gobos just have to finish off the rest of those units. Or actually, they just have to chase them down as the enemy is done for. 700 HP on Zhao Ming, but he has not yet lifted off. And Gordas continues chasing him around, whacking away with that axe. And down goes Zhao Ming yet again. Beautiful. Oh, well done. He is now part of the land, and the Gordas can return to, well, not so much of the battle, but to the chase. Now still a lot of enemy units on the field, and that means a lot of free labor that we can acquire. In my headcanon, I like to imagine that the wolf raiders carry nets with them as well, not just arrows and swords and whatnot, just to catch people. Maybe bolas or something as well. I don't know if gobos are likely to use those. But anyway, decisive victory for us. Zhao Ming gone yet again. I think 1 or maybe 2 of those enemy units escaped. Accidentally hit end battle, even though there were a tiny bit of units still on the field. But most of them were destroyed for labor. I don't know whether this means the army will survive or not. I guess we'll have to find out. But either way, this is probably Zhao Ming's only army, and maybe the last we'll ever see of his faction. Alrighty, very nice. Looks like a couple of enemy units escaped, but at the end of the day, we still got about 1,100 labor from that. So thank you to Zhao Ming for such a nice influx of additional labor. Alright. Otherwise, let's see. Ooh, the magma cannons both did quite swell. The hat cannon, the Death Shrieker did not do as much damage, but hardly surprising, considering we didn't have any single targets, entities other than Zhao Ming for it to fire at, and he was in his infantry form until he actually got close to us, so yeah. Otherwise, we got okay damage on the various wolf raiders, but of course the damage there isn't going to be too crazy, especially as they were mostly running around chasing down runners. Oh wow, less than 1,000 damage on you, but he spent a lot of the time either getting shot by enemy range units, so taking shots for the rest of the army, for the rest of the gobos, ironically, and also running away from Zhao Ming, so also not super surprising. Transport those captives, please. We were at 94 efficiency, now at 95, and there it is. The Merciless to Ming trait, armor plus 5, which puts where I believe Gabo's up to 30. Very good. Now we just gotta acquire us a nice Balthazar Gelt kill, and it'll be all great. Now, Yobaz, what I want you to do... okay, so you are going to, let's say, lose a Hobgoblin Archer, like so. Then we're going to transfer the Hat Cannon to you. For now. I'll probably swap that around with some other stuff, especially as I do want to build an army around a bunch of Death Shriekers to make sure that we can use them. Then we're going to March Stance you out down here, and you're going to proceed to fighting the Skaven, while you, Ukani, our new mage, are going to join the army. Lovely. Alrighty, that works out, and, well, you guys won't be full HP in one turn, you will be after you go through here, so you have a long way to travel to the Skaven territories. Anyway, alrighty, Scaff, now I want you to go into March Stance. There's no attrition here because we're at the edge of the desert here. We're gonna go to the Vale of Titans camp in March Stance, and hopefully be able to hit the Vale of Titans same turn next turn, ideally. Not 100% sure whether that is possible, but, well, let's just hope that it is. Alrighty, next up. Also, somebody commented that they were surprised that Grimgor has not declared war on us, and I think it's because he's fighting Astrogoth. Astrogoth is quite strong, he's got a decent amount of territory, look at all that, and Grimgor having to face off against him and Kolak, and I guess the Dolgan if you count them, plus a bunch of other enemy factions nearby, means he doesn't want to declare war on us at the current time. And that said, this just means we will be able to raid him and take more of his territories, and eventually do the same and betray Kolak. Although I think we'll attack Kolak before he attacks us, rather than waiting for it to like we did with the Clan Eschenskaven. But anyway, now let's spend some money, or actually, well, some money, as well as those raw materials that we have. I believe we were building a bunch of public order buildings. This one's being constructed right now, but it's critical that we get those up and running everywhere we can. And there we go, there's another public order building here at Weijin. We'll do that. We can also upgrade you, Altar of Fire. Gotta get more of those sorcerer capacities. You are in public order, but you will be constructing stuff probably next turn, although the public order here is quite problematic. Where's this out? It's the Force of the Moon, eh? Maybe we keep the public order as it is. Until the Skaven corruption is gone, maybe we just take the hit of the extra 10% construction cost. Oh well, it's fine. Plains of Shan, ooh yes, definitely get the Trade Wharf, definitely get the Tribute Shrine, definitely get the Tower Roads. Alright, that drops our raw materials quite significantly. We have Foundry of Bones, you are already building your public order building. You have another port for us. And another money building. Beautiful. And I believe that's it. Let's also, while we're at it, upgrade the walls at Chimai. We are going to delete both of them eventually, but for now, it's critical that we leave them there. We also want a Incinerator here, but we can't afford it right now, so it's fine. Alrighty, what can we spend the rest of our money on? There are a couple of mine shafts that we could upgrade here, for example, that we'll need to transfer labor. And if we upgrade both mine shafts, we won't have enough to transfer a lot of labor. You know what? Maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll deal with the labor first. Well, sort of first, I should say. There's two things that we also want to do. Zhatan, you are going to be able to reach Nongchang, so we are going to attack it. Two things. First of all, Tech Thief, move here. Steel Tech, I want you to see... Ah, yes, there is another army here. Alright. Why? Why would you do this? Alrighty, well this guy's useless, and he's going to be gone for 5 or 8 turns. Ah, 5 turns. That's a long time without stealing any tech, and our research rate isn't that high. Man, it looks like we might have to get another one of those guys to steal more tech, which is annoying, but it is what it is. We'll keep an eye on what we have here. Control... Ooh, extravagant. Oh, we should probably hire you before you disappear. Put you into an actual army. Manipulative control, enemy leadership reduction, that's not horrible. Control, and another enemy leadership and province reduction, and another compulsive one. Alright, we'll take a look at that in a bit. See how much money we have remaining after we do the fighting and get the labor and whatever else we plan to do. This is also a capital, which means more conclave influence once we take it, but what I really want is this. The Demon's Tongue. And there we go, and you are now going to attack these guys with the Demon's Tongue in tow, because we gotta try it out. Declare war, don't bother calling for help, you guys helped us out, but unfortunately, 'twas a mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake. Zhatan? Too bad we can't reach this army at the same time. I would have loved to have fought them both. This enemy army has absolutely no chance against us, but we're gonna fight this cinematically because I want to try out the Demon's Tongue Dreadquake. So here we go. Alright, spitting expletives, I'm sure, and man, we're getting lots of these absolutely fantastic shots of these maps today. Or maybe I'm just more distractible today. Also, I really like the little harbor we've got on the side here. Similarly, I really like the harbor of the Sartosan territory. But I hadn't taken a look at the harbor in one of the Cathian maps before. No, you can even move down this little canalway here. Damn, well, I gotta take a look at maps some more. Sorry for those that get annoyed at me doing this, but hey, there's a lot of love went into these maps, and I feel like we do have to appreciate them as much as we can as well. Anyway, this is also going to be the debut battle of our Demon's Tongue, our first train, our first Dreadquake mortar as well. What a glorious piece of machinery. I want to hear you fire. There we go. Oh, I love that clanking sound that all the machines do, and the mortar is going to fire on top of the walls. I think that the Dreadquake effect doesn't actually work on top of walls. So yeah, on top of a wall it just functions as a regular unit. But I don't really think we care about wasting shots at the current time, simply because the Infernal Castellan now has restock, which means we have either 3 or 5 uses of ammunition. It's like half the ammunition of a Dreadquake mortar, so this thing can keep firing as much as it wants. And is that a fire belly? Huh. The mask makes it seem like a fire belly. Interesting. He doesn't have the fire belly staff, but anyway. You gotta love this frickin' thing. Oh, there's a little thing that you pump there, and it's an Infernal Guard pumping by the looks of it. Nah, I was hoping it would fire again. I saw the ogre reload. While the magma cannons are at least firing. There we go. Damn it, just missed the sound as well. Really enjoying these things. We are going to get a lot more use out of these guys in a field battle than we would here, but anyway. Oh, I wanted to test how much damage it would do to a tower in a single shot. A little bit under 1,000 damage. So not so bad, I would say. The magma cannons, I think, do considerably less, but that's also hardly surprising. Huh. Knocking ghosts off the wall doesn't actually kill them, which is kind of neat, unless these guys weren't actually knocked off the wall. Let's actually find out. You two... No, you two died. But that also might be because the entire unit is now dying. Yeah, I don't think Karen Wraiths should probably die from a fall. They're ghosts. Hardly makes sense. But anyway, we're going to start by clearing off the walls while we are working on bringing them down with our mortar and with our artillery. It is still pretty necessary to actually kill the units up here so that the enemy towers don't fire on us while we approach. That said, I believe the second tower will be down reasonably shortly, and then we'll move our Iron Demons and the Demon's Tongue into the gate, and then we'll start having them attack. We'll mostly use them in this particular battle, mostly because the enemy has absolutely no chance here, as it's a fairly small garrison, and I just wanted to try the Regiment of Renown out. Oh, the Bale Taurus is fantastic as well, though. I'm still on the fence about leaving Zhatan on the Lamassu or giving him giving him back the regular Bale Taurus. The thing is, I feel like we should have a Lamassu in the army, but once again, if we put it on him, we would have no Bale Taurus whatsoever. And can we really have an army without a model like this? It's too good. I don't know. Not that Zhatan really needs a lot of help, mind you, and the magical aura is very nice nonetheless. How's his infantry blending skills here? He's at 60 kills so far, just mowing down the zombies, but because of his abilities activating depending on kill intensity, and they're in here somewhere. Obsidian Axe, yeah, there we go. Melee attack plus 11 up to plus 40. Effect intensity increases with each kill made by the unit, which would obviously speed up quite a bit if we were to use a Bale Taurus, which is what makes me wonder. But anyway, we'll figure it out as we go, or maybe adjust as we go. Anyway, it looks like we are ready to move, and the two Iron Demons, our tanks and our train, are going to move forward towards the gate. So happy about these units all being added. If only we could somehow get Imperial allies to get steam tanks as well. And somehow gyrocopters. More machinery of all types. Would be swell, I'm sure. Anyway, these guys are going to break through the gate in a little bit, but in the meantime, we got a few more units to kill. We are going to move forward and attack some bats up in the air. And looks like we certainly have enough splash damage from both of these to knock a decent amount of bats out with every shot. Looks like Zhatan knocked about 4 out, but the bats are really close together, so there's probably a lot of splash damage. And there we go, just like that, the rest of them will melt away while these guys start working on the gate. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit while we break down the gate, as it's not particularly interesting just waiting for them to do so. And there we go, gate is down and we're ready to move forward. The train and the tanks are a little bit in each other's way at the in the gateway there, but it's okay. Hopefully they can still fire. I want to see the flamethrowers from the Demon's Tongue if it can get to firing. They're all very slowly moving forward, but it looks like they're going to go into melee. Well, that's okay because their steam expulsion. There we go. It looks quite nice as well. Ooh, and you have a fiery steam expulsion. Very nice. Alrighty, I don't imagine these Graveguard are going to have a very good day after all this. Absolutely glorious. Alright, how's that Graveguard unit looking? They're down to below half HP, their armor is sundered, they're crumbling away, and they will be gone shortly. And then we'll find some more enemies to attack here. We also get a little bit of help from our Centaur Renders, which, well, they haven't had a lot of playtime in the campaign so far, but we are going to be building up an army fairly soon that is focused around them, so it does make sense. I do like their double-handed axe or dual axe attacks. Anyway, looks like we got a mortar firing. There are some knights moving around. Oh, they're gonna dodge the mortar, eh? Alright, well, I guess that makes sense. What a great impact animation as well. And I don't just mean the circle of the quake there, but the actual impact explosion. Anyway, we're going to speed it up a little bit once again. Zhatan and Pythic are going to move into the enemy arrow tower, and it looks like the Dreadquake did manage to hit one of the enemy units there. And the Quake knocked at least a few of those Black Knights out, and actually they've lost about 15% HP. We're also going to have Pythic cast a Flame Storm as well, while we move the rest of our units up. Here's another Dreadquake Mortar, and the enemy really likes to dodge those, but then where are they gonna go? March forward into the Dreadquake, or stay there and keep getting hit by the other Iron Demons? Damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of thing, and I'm sure we've got more ammo where that came from, and there's a flame storm behind you as well. Ah, glorious. Oh man, smash that mortar into the Terracotta Sentinel statue there. But oh well. We can keep moving up, and it looks like the Black Knights are actually moving forward, and they're going to be ready to fight here, though I don't think they would survive in melee against the Iron Demons or against the Centaur Renders. That actually might have been a decent hit, because it's far enough away from us to not hurt us, but it's clearly hurting the ghouls here. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad at all. Took about 20% of their HP off, maybe actually 25%, even though it was nowhere near a direct hit. Anyway, Zhatan and Pythic have dropped down on the enemy Lord. We're also going to get a Piercing Bolt of Burning coming down on the enemy ghouls there. And it looks like the Skeleton Warriors and Black Knights have been pretty much destroyed by the Iron Demons as well as the Centaur Renders. We've by and large left most of our other infantry in the back line, as in we haven't even bothered sending them in. That went way wide. Haven't bothered sending them in, but because we really don't need them. Just the Immortals here to support us. And also because they look fantastic. And also because I love their hat helmets. Alrighty. And let's see, looks like the enemy Lord has been killed by Zhatan extremely quickly while we were watching these guys, and it looks like with that, the battle ends. Certainly a short one, but we didn't expect anything else, and I just really wanted to see that Dreadquake mortar fire. That is, of course, only the beginning of the Dreadquake, and we will have it, we'll have it have a lot of playtime in the near future as we continue attacking the Cathians and the Dead and the Lizards as well. Hey, alright, a free war banner. Oh, wait. Ah, right. The war banner in vanilla is garbage compared to the SFO war banner. Ah, and I got excited for nothing. Oh well. Obviously, the battle was extremely easy for us. I got a decent amount of damage, 11k on the Demon's Tongue, although the enemy army was too small and broke too quickly for us to get too much mileage out of it. Not to worry, though. There are a lot of Burning Wind Nomads nearby, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a field battle against them shortly. We're going to occupy the tower, obviously, or occupy as tower. And now we're up to 75 Conclave influence per turn. I take it you're going to attack us next turn. Hopefully because of the... Oh, we got to keep the patrol routes. Hopefully because of the fact that we have the breach here. That, oh! Goat Farm gives us upkeep production for Lamasu, Great Taurus, and Bale Taurus. And I keep getting distracted. No matter what, we're going to need the donation barrel here. So we'll do that first rather than the recruitment cost and whatnot. But yeah, there's a lot of armies nearby. You're going to probably siege us next turn, but that's just fine. I don't really want to have Zhatan sit in the corrupted territory because he'd lose units to attrition that way. Either way, Burning Wind Nomads have really no direction they could go. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do now. They could back off. They could try to head to sea. They could try to run away here. I'm actually going to be very curious to see how exactly this AI reacts, because it's kind of it's kind of stuck. But anyway, Zhatan, you hold there. We'll take Shiama's rest next turn, where that idiot tech thief should have not failed us, but oh well. Now, in terms of what else we have to do, labor economy. Now, let's see. So, Forests of the Moon, we already used the public order things, so we can't do any more. Warpstone Desert, however, can use set an example. And Ancient Giant Lands, I don't actually care about you, so we're going to ignore you for now. Let's see. Public order, these places aren't, they don't have any labor, so that is irrelevant. Celestial Lake. I keep forgetting, do we have a factory or what here? Celestial Lake, we have the, oh right, the Celestial Monastery Outpost, eh? Yeah, I guess keep it. I mean, it's never going to generate a lot of goods, but considering the number of factories we're building along the coastline and within the interior coast as well, or along the river here, we really are going to need a lot more outposts, because we're going to drop by like 2,000 raw materials, and just by virtue of all those factories. So, that means we are going to transfer some labor towards Celestial Lake. Oh, it doesn't have intake right now. Alright, fine. You're gonna switch to intake, even though your public order is meh. And we're gonna drop a couple hundred from, let's say, the Giant Lands, because they don't technically need it, because we're still not upgrading it, to you. Accept. And there we go. Now we're at 100% efficiency again. We do have a tiny surplus, but really not all that much anywhere except the Imperial Road, which has a significant amount. That said, I think we'll hold on to what we have in terms of labor, because in a few turns we may want to just save up enough labor to just pop this to tier 5 immediately. And then that way we can build a quick Temple of Hashut, and maybe also rush it as well, just for the extra 10 Conclave influence per turn. It's quite nice. Though, so the Temple of Hashut will give us an extra 10 Conclave influence per turn. Though rushing it, I wonder how much labor rushing it would cost. I'm just wondering, because sacrifices for Zharr will give us 10 Conclave influence per 200 labor. I mean, obviously, eventually the temple will pay for itself. I'm not sure which is the better option, but we'll figure it out as we go. Anyway, I believe that's pretty much all we have to do this time around. The labor is good. I guess we can upgrade a little something. Let's say spices. Ooh, no, let's go for one of these places, one of the mine shafts. There we go. Alrighty. Ooh, wait, in tights. Let's go Shrine of the Alchemist. It's safer to do this. Like so. Alright, it's a lot less likely to get attacked. And with that, I think we can end the turn. Don't have enough time to fight another battle, certainly, but I would like to see if anything interesting happens. Damaged building. Where were the damaged buildings? Did we take something recently where buildings were damaged? Where the heck are damaged buildings, damn it? Okay, wait, do we have a... rank gain buildings constructed world events, maybe? Wounded, tech thief, the useless, no, I don't know where the damaged buildings are. I guess we'll, oh, is this it? Yeah, this is it. I'm glad I clicked here. Completely missed that. Alrighty, now we can end the turn. Alright. Convoy buffs are coming up. Let's see if these guys attack Zhatan, though I suppose it won't matter all that much if they do. It'll make no difference. Alright, not looking like they're trying it as yet. Where did the Cathans... Oh! Why? I guess this was the only move they had. Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. We could have destroyed 2 armies and gotten the labor from both of them rather than these guys. Well, they're dead now, but still a little bit annoying. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to call it. Next time, I'll attack the Veil of Titans camp and then see if Greasus wants to peace out while Scaff moves to the Veil of Titans, though maybe he'll stop on by and take out a caravan. Though I suppose we could use Yobaz as well, but he does need to head towards the Skaven before they could do much more damage. Also, you, I forgot to move you last turn because I got excited about ending the turn, but I guess we'll move you next time around. Either way, Zhatan will proceed southward to continuing to attack the Burning Wind Nomads, but he's very near to Shilong and the final destruction of the western provinces. I don't think we'll let them recover this time. We're just going to destroy them. Though, the question of how we attack here is going to be interesting. Mostly because the Skaven, like, we're at war with everybody here, so the further we advance, the less likely we'll be able to hold on to the ground that we take. But anyway, that'll be a question for another time. You guys let me know what you think about the Order of Confederation, which I think is going to be an interesting consideration. And, ooh. We also have one of these now available. Damn. Military upkeep versus construction cost. I gotta go with construction costs, because construction costs includes raw materials, right? So I think that one's more critical right now. We'll go military upkeep second, I think. We definitely don't want our quote-unquote allies, well, not really allies, our rivals, to take either of these two seats. They're just too good. And honestly, High Commissioner is fantastic as well. Damn it, these 3 seats, basically, we really care about. But anyway, we'll go for Procurator and claim the seat. And there we go. Alrighty, construction costs minus 2% for each industry seats. I believe we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means a 10% reduction to construction faction-wide, which is quite nice as well. Anyway, with that, calling it 3 or 4 more turns until we can get another seat up and running, and maybe we'll even sell some labor to ensure that it is there at 13%. Oh, 12% construction cost reduction. Beautiful. Anyway, we'll do that. We'll attack, we will hopefully acquire more labor here, we will take out Zhao Ming, and we will work on continuing destruction of Snitch. So stay tuned for more Chaos Dwarfs. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.